Hello, and welcome to ENGW3302 Advanced Writing in the Technical Professions. I am Dr. White, and I will be your instructor for this course. In this video, I am going to walk you through the course policies, the calendar of assignments, and then those two. There will be a separate video for the Module 1 introduction. So, let's start by pulling up the syllabus file. So it's on Blackboard. Go to the syllabus menu and open the file syllabus. Pause the video and we'll go through it together. I'll talk at you as you are reading it. Pause. Okay, so now you should have the file open that is called, I believe it's white_syllabus underscore 3302-18. And what I'm going to do here is just take you through this stuff and tell you how I see this course and what I see your responsibilities being and how I think it works. Okay, so looking at the syllabus, a few things to know. It's an online course. We don't meet in person, duh. I do have office hours, though I am on campus, and those are Thursdays from 10 to 11. I wish that could be a little more flexible, but I am very scheduled, as are all of you. If you can't make it during that time, send me an email, and we'll see if there is a time that works for us mutually. If it just doesn't, I still have my Husky mail. I did my PhD here in the English department at Northeastern. We can do a Google Hangout, and that I can do in the evenings if you'd like. So if the in-person doesn't work, we can Google Hangout, and that should make it work. And of course, email me whenever you'd like. Try to be as responsive as possible to email. What else about me? I've been at Northeastern since 2006, did my PhD here in the English department, which I already mentioned. If you ever want to talk about early American literature, history, politics, economics, that's my specialty, by training, although I've been teaching here for 12 years too. So, okay, on to the course. Top of the course description from the course catalog, I didn't write that. People in the higher-ups wrote that. Read it, I guess. From me, here's my vision for the course. AWD is for upper-level students exploring technical work and knowledge. Stop. What does that mean? It means that although technically you're supposed to be in the College of Engineering or CCIS, if you snuck in here and you're not in one of those colleges, you can probably make it work, especially given the approach to the course that we're going to take. So if you're studying technical work, if you're studying technical knowledge, this is the place for you. Over the course of this semester, you are going to develop an inquiry. You're going to figure out what you're interested in. Hopefully you probably do know. And you are then going to explore that topic via all different types of published materials. Scholarly writing, professional writing, media, it's all on the table. And in this course, we're going to talk about the role of research and research processes, things like peer review, things like manuscript formatting, submission, genre, audience, rhetorical situation. All of these elements of published writing are going to be studied and discussed. In a lot of ways, for me and for you, this course is really about joining intellectual communities of shared interest around our discipline, around what we do. So technical work, whatever that technical means to you or your particular major, concentration, co-op at work experiences, prior knowledge, that's what we're exploring here. We're exploring the technical part of it and how that impacts communication. So, what's the germane stuff that you really want to know here? In terms of books and other materials, I know that especially in the technical fields, you all spend an inordinate amount of money on course materials. This will not be one of those courses. In the middle of March, you will need to purchase a $5 membership to the website Medium. You pay for it for 1 month. That's it. And to be honest, I don't know if you even need to pay for it. You might be able to get enough free articles that you don't need to. So that's your reading materials. The rest of your reading materials, and there are going to be a decent amount of reading materials. One is going to be assigned by me. That's your first one, Karl Heinz Pogner, Discourse Communities and Communities of Practice. It's a PDF. Periodically, I'll post some other materials via PDF, sample papers, scholarly articles, things of that nature. Most of the reading you do in this course, though, is going to be provided by you. It's your inquiry project you're working on. You're all going to be working on different topics. Some of you may have a similar field. You will, but you're all going to have different projects and different precise focuses, so you're all going to provide your own reading materials. That's in fact part of the coursework, is finding your reading materials and using them successfully. So that's another reason that we don't need to buy any more books. In fact, by paying for the Northeastern Library via your tuition, you are effectively buying your course materials here. We don't need to make you pay more for that. In terms of the graded projects, this course is broken down as this course breakdown, bottom of page 1. 4 modules. You'll see Module 1, Discourse, Community, and Genre Analysis, 25%. This is a relatively conventional academic essay, about 5 pages. The assignment sheet's up on Blackboard. You can read it there. There'll be a separate video about that. In terms of genre, you've all written papers before, essays. That's what it is. Module 2, Conference Abstract, Conference Paper, Annotated Bibliography. So this is really what I like to call an integrated scholarly writing unit. There are 3 graded components to it, but collectively this body of work constitutes a longer-term inquiry into scholarly writing. How do people write to create knowledge? What does that look like compared to professional writing, which of course is writing that meets the needs of the workplace and of professionals? How is this different from academic writing, like what we do in Module 1, which is most of the writing you've done in your life, well, for school? So those 3 assignments, we're going to work on them concurrently because, frankly, they all work together. Like the 3 things: a conference abstract, you propose a paper to a conference paper, you write a short version of that paper, and then an annotated bibliography, a list of the sources consulted throughout the research process. Those things are all integrated. Like, it's really tough to do one without the other. You're kind of constantly revising the abstract as your paper changes. You're, of course, updating the bibliography as you need new sources and as some sources maybe are no longer relevant. So these I used to do these as different projects, but they're all mutually dependent. So that's going to be the bulk of the semester, probably those 3 projects, that big module there. And there are separate due dates within the module, but I want you to think of them as a kind of module. And then Module 3, the medium composition. This is going to be the end of the semester, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with the website Medium. It's kind of like a joint composition platform, publishing place. It's a chance to take what we've learned through our inquiry projects and to direct them towards a public reader rather than a scholarly or professional reader. So it's a chance to kind of tell the general public about our expert knowledge. Say, hi, I'm the formative expert on topic ABC, and here's why it's interesting, here's why it matters, and we're going to show you that. So what you might notice if you take a minute to read the 3 module descriptions is that this course actually follows a pretty, I think, identifiable trajectory. We begin as students, taking stock of the people around us, our discourse community. You'll come to understand what that means, I promise, and how people in those communities write, the genres they use. There's that keyword genre. And again, you'll get a lesson on genre, I promise. So Module 1's like taking stock. You walk into a room, you look around. How are people dressed? What are they eating? How are they standing? Or are they sitting? How many people are there? What do they look like? What are their credentials? How do they communicate? All of these are questions that we're going to ask. So it's kind of like taking inventory. Module 2 is very much writing then in that mode. So we learn about the people in the room, we learn about the communities, and then we say, okay, I'm going to write for you now. I'm going to join this group. I'm going to propose a project. I'm going to explore an idea via the conference paper, and I'm going to keep track of the sources I use along the way. It's essentially saying, like, who are my allies? What are we trying to do together? What are our shared values, goals, objectives? Why do we write? How do we write? And then with Module 3, the medium composition, you've become a member of this discourse community, and now you get to kind of represent your community to the public. So, hey, everybody else, here's what we're doing that's really interesting that you don't know about because necessarily you're not part of this group. So you then kind of take on the role of spokesperson, and you go off and become the public face of the organizations. And this is a rough approximation. It'll become clear as you do the work. If it doesn't make any sense right now, that's fine. But I just want you to understand and at least be aware of the fact that this course does follow a trajectory. There's a method to the madness. And I think over the duration of the semester, you'll see that it actually makes a lot of sense. And it's a way to really move from student to professional to scholar to then again a kind of publicly engaged representative of your field. So there's a purpose to it there. So that's the assignment breakdown. I want to talk about participation here. I'm at the bottom of page 2. So this is an online class, and Blackboard is going to be our digital classroom for all intents and purposes. I am not going to track every single assigned post that you are supposed to do every single day. I will, of course, participate in discussions. I will, of course, provide feedback on your drafts. I will, of course, engage you. But it's your job to keep track on an assignment by assignment basis of your participation. I do drop in periodically, and I do tally it up, and I do deduct points if you don't complete the required activities. That will happen regardless. But my point is, if, say, you miss an assignment that's due on a Tuesday and I pop in on a Thursday and it's not there yet, I'm not going to necessarily go out of the way to email everybody who didn't do it and say I'm deducting a point from your final grade because you didn't do it. You need to keep track of your assignments and what you do or don't do. I will do the best that I can to maintain an online available running final grade tally to you on Blackboard throughout the total of the course. So it should be visible there. Look, here's a policy. There are a lot of short, ungraded activities that count as participation. It's essentially the kinds of conversations and work we'd be doing in a classroom if we had a physical classroom space. If you don't do one of those by the date, it's a 1% deduction from your final grade. It just is. If there's a reason you can't make it, let me know. Send me an email and say, hi, Dr. White, I want you to know I'm not going to be able to complete this assignment because what's your reason? And if it only happens a couple times in the semester and it makes some sense to me, fine. I'm not here to just penalize you and give everybody D's. That's not what I'm interested in doing. I want to help you succeed. At the same time, though, you need to have most of the stuff done on time. In terms of the late policies, incomplete or late peer reviews are subject to a 5% deduction from your final grade. One of the things about this being an online class is that peer review and group review is incredibly, incredibly important, even more so than an in-person class. So those are technically, again, not graded, but if you don't do it, it's a big deal. You are all in a position to give each other very precise, exact feedback. I, of course, will give you feedback, but you are in positions as students, as colleagues, to give the kind of most granular feedback. So your peers are depending on you, and if you don't do it, that hurts everybody. Again, though, if for some reason you can't complete it, you know you have pre-existing travel plans, medical, family emergency, let me know ahead of time. I'll send an email out. We'll see if anybody else is in a similar position. And, if 2 or 3 of you need a couple extra days, that's okay. But you need to let me know ahead of time, okay? Final grade equation with technical professions. Usually you guys can do math, so that's fine. There it is. And obviously there's a more granular breakdown up top with the individual assignments. Learning goals. You should probably actually read those because they impact how our assignments are written, how you're assessed, and what we do together. Again, though, I didn't write those. Let's see. Grading, I grade on a 10-point scale, A, 90 to 100. The minuses are 0 to 3, so like 90 to 93 would be an A minus, 80 to 83 would be a B minus. There's no A plus. People know that, though. Let's see. Discussion guidelines and expectations are on there. Those are pretty self-explanatory, but again, do read those. The big one would be the last one, the kind of golden rule here. Respond to others as you would like to be responded to. Treat each other with respect. Try to work promptly, and just, it's in classroom. It's just online. Use your best professional written English. You don't have to proofread every little thing, but try to be courteous and insightful and take the care that you would appreciate that you receive from your classmates. Page 5 of the document, University Resources. Go ahead and do this. Read this. These are really valuable. They will help you. I swear on my 12 years of teaching experience, if you go to the Writing Center, your projects will be better. If you go to peer tutoring, your projects will be better. If you have a disability that impacts your performance in class, there are certain things that give you trouble, especially in an online setting. Go to the DRC and get the accommodation form. I want to help you. Let's see, there's some contact information there for people who are in charge of me, and that's it. After this, you have the calendar of assignments. So if you look at the calendar of assignments, I'm on the bottom of page 7, top of page 8 here. I think, again, pretty self-explanatory. I'm running this course on a Tuesday-Friday basis. It mirrors a regular Northeastern course in that way. All your work is due 11:59 a.m., and I think I have pretty precise instructions for what to do for each day. Again, there will be supplemental instructions in emails and video lectures, but always go to the syllabus, always go to the syllabus. I'll say it one more time, always go to the syllabus. This is designed for a reason, and I think, again, it answers most questions. So look, I've been talking too much about course policy here. It's 17 minutes into this video, and if you haven't died of boredom yet, congratulations. You probably have a better intentions man than I do. I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to record the video now for the Unit 1 assignment, where we'll turn to the assignment sheet. So happy to meet you, and can't wait to get to know you guys all online. Have a good one.